Is artificial intelligence gonna spell game over for print on demand? This is something that never actually crossed my mind, but there was a pretty active thread in my print on demand Facebook group today, and I drew inspiration from it, and I wanted to give my commentary on it in this video because I think it's actually a pretty interesting take. So we're gonna talk about that in this video. Let's get right to it. Real quick reminder, in the description, I've got some free resources for you. I've got the free weekly print on demand giveaway. We just kicked off a new giveaway yesterday, so make sure you use the link at the top of the description to enter. I've got my free 8-day print on demand mini course delivered via email, and I've got a great print on demand Facebook group which inspired this video, so I hope you guys will join if you're not already a member. All those are in the description. So this is what I wanted to talk about today. So this post was pretty interesting, and I guess I'll just kind of read through it and give you my thoughts as we go. So Gideon says, okay, is it just me or are the numbers of people teaching print on demand rapidly increasing than the number of people actually learning it? Everywhere I turn, someone just wants to sell a course on how to make millions in 1 month with print on demand. So I guess just to start, that's not even really what inspired the video idea. It was actually a couple people in the descriptions talking about AI and whatnot. So that's what I really wanted to highlight. But just to give commentary on the initial opener, I don't actually watch very many other print on demand YouTube content because I don't want to like copy people's content, if that makes sense. Like I want to have original thoughts, and I always feel like it's tainted if I'm watching too much content from other people. That being said, when other YouTubers in the space do have a big video, you know, I watch a lot of YouTube. So, I mean, I sit here all day and I got a monitor up here. So I just like, you know, I'm not watching cable news, put it that way. I got YouTube on, I got other, you know, websites running content. And if there's other big videos, they tend to like work its way in front of me into my news feed, and then I'll typically watch it. But I don't know, is everybody selling courses and coaching now? I mean, I'm not aware of that, but hopefully, I know what can be annoying is if people get too pushy. And, you know, fortunately, with our time being spread so thin as it is, and hopefully if one thing print on demand does well, it's teaching you how valuable your time is, because once you learn print on demand, you now know how to monetize your time without spending money, right? It's not FBA, oh, I need money to make money. No, with print on demand, you can make money without spending money. So your time is extremely valuable. Don't waste your time watching crappy content, right? Don't waste your time watching people trying to sell you a course if they're not providing any real value outside of that course. Because you know, there's a lot of reasons, obviously, not to, you know, pay for courses if you don't know for sure. Number one, that the people know what they're talking about. Number two, that, you know, they've verified that they're actually successful in whatever it is that they're teaching. So yeah, you guys already know all those traps. Like what inspired me to start my courses, because I never had any aspirations to do it, was somebody named Kevin David, who is just like one of the original like course scam artists. The dude clearly didn't know what he was talking about when it came to Amazon FBA specifically. I don't know if he actually knew about anything about the other stuff that he had courses for, but it like lit a fire in, you know, under me to start my own FBA course, because I was actually a successful FBA seller, and it was clear as day that that dude didn't know what he was talking about. So if anybody was wondering why I have courses, but you know, for what it's worth, like we put out lots of free content. It's typically fragmented, you know, all over the internet. There's YouTube videos and whatnot. If you can find the answers to your questions, good. But you know, when you join a course, a well put together one, you typically do get like everything you need in the order you need it. If you're not getting that, just ask for a refund, right? There's no shame in doing that. All right, the next comment says, because people are from Kelsey, because people are figuring out it's more profitable and way less daily work to sell a course or take on coaching clients than to run an actual print on demand business. Hey, it's debatable, but I mean, I respect everybody's opinion. I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong here. The thing that, like, put it this way, regardless, this is just my opinion, regardless of what you're selling, like, to me, making a sale is about getting people to acknowledge that you exist or that your product exists, right? If you're selling, like, I guess, coaching or a course, it's about you existing, right? They need to know you exist, right? And establish that you're a subject matter expert, right? For them to trust you enough to pay you for your information, right? If it's a product, well, they need to know your product exists first and foremost. Then it needs to be like either a compelling like value proposition. You know, it needs to be high quality. It needs to be something that gets them to convert, right? So is it easier to, you know, get in front of people and convince them to trust you as a person, or, you know, than to carve out internet real estate on Amazon or Etsy where they don't even need to know that you're the person behind the scenes selling that product or benefiting from them buying the product? I mean, that's the only angle I'm working there, where it's like with print on demand, we know we can go design a t-shirt, then sell that t-shirt on all of the major e-commerce marketplaces, and we will benefit from merely being on that marketplace without having to worry about like you know what I mean, doing it on our own. Whereas if you're doing like coaching or courses or whatnot, you're probably out there on your own. So it's just worth considering. It might actually be easier to run a print-on-demand business, but I'm not trying to say anybody's wrong here. I just give them my take. Diane said, noticed that too. So I guess I don't know how prevalent it is. I also use YouTube Premium. So I know a lot of like gurus probably sell courses and whatnot using ads. And while I am the beneficiary of people that advertise on my videos, I never see the ads because pretty much the only subscription service I pay for, I know this is crazy because we live in a world full of subscriptions, but I don't really, for entertainment purposes, the only one I really pay for is YouTube Premium. I do get, Netflix for free. I've done a video on that in my finance channel if anybody cares, but just for like staking some crypto, I get like YouTube, or no, not YouTube. I get Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Spotify for free. So if anybody's interested, I'll link to that video in the description if you want. Yes, I noticed that too. Diane said, John said, those that can do, those that can't teach. And I've heard that, and I mean, definitely there's some truth to that. Nobody can deny that. Those that are named Ryan Hogue, who are, crazy people that use a computer all day, every day, pretty much since age 13. That was 20 years ago. I'm now 33. We do all of the above because we can make it work. You know what I mean? Like we operate and focus heavily on efficiency, and that allows us to do and teach. As evidenced by the fact that like I built all these businesses up. For those of you guys that are new to my channel, I did it while working 9 to 5 as a senior web developer and then teaching 3 classes a semester for 7.5 years at a local university where I taught web development. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I can make it work, I know everybody can make it work. Just hyper focus on efficiency and remember that there's 2 types of people in this world, those that do and those that don't. And you have to choose, and you don't really actually have to choose. You just are what you are, right? You're either a doer or you're not a doer. If you join my email list, you get an email. It's part of like the introductory sequence that literally says like, are you a doer? And I put that like pretty prominently as one of the first emails you'll get because if you're not a doer, I just don't think in general, like life is going to be as favorable if you're not a doer, because what it tends to happen is you just wait for things to happen around you and you either get lucky or you don't. Whereas doers, we do, right? We manifest things, right? We actually take action. And this is where, again, if you want to tie this back to the course comment, those of you guys that are inspired, ready to take action, but don't know what to do next, there's no shame in paying for somebody that has been there before to kind of lay out a blueprint step by step that we can kind of trust works, right? So again, I'm not trying to sell you courses when I say this. This is just us having a conversation, unfortunately, one-way conversation. But let me know in the comments below your thoughts. So John said, no offense to the real teachers out there, but the internet is being flooded with fakes and gurus. Definitely. There's a really good, let me see if this guy's kicked off YouTube or not, but there's a YouTube channel I want to shout out that has like hilarious content. Yeah, this guy right here, all right? Mike Winnett. This guy has hilarious content on his channel, even though, yeah, he's been still actively uploading. Okay. Mike Winnett, and I'll link to him too in the description, but he's like great for exposing like predatory fake gurus and whatnot. So check him out if you want to be entertained while also seeing some gurus exposed. He also goes for like kind of the upper echelon, but definitely good content there. So he says, if you think it's bad, now wait another year. The AI tools will soon take over this market and the gurus will be in hog heaven. Yeah, I mean, that's actually what inspired this video. Naturally, I talked for 5 or 6 minutes without even getting there, but I just wanted to kind of comment on the AI tools will soon take over the market. And Patrick said, selling you a dream, not a product. Yeah, the AI will make it a mad marketplace of scams and fake reviews all over the shop. No pun intended. Yeah, I mean, if you're on just each website, guys, like I guess if you're not tech savvy, I don't know, or if you don't use the internet like as a regular user, you don't get as familiar with like how each marketplace works. Like some, it's probably real easy to fake reviews. Others, not so much. If you're selling like a course or something like that, and it's just on your like own domain, you can literally make any content you want, right? So just always be aware of that stuff. It's definitely beneficial to be like kind of up to date with how tech works and just kind of keep learning. It's a forever learning experience. You'll never know it all. I'll never know it all for sure. But the AI tools will soon take over the market. I mean, I think what he's referring to is maybe even just watching my videos. And I mean, just for what it's worth, like hearing that the AI can take over and it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, right? Like I'm a direct beneficiary from leveraging software, but keep in mind the software is built by humans. How much of it is true artificial intelligence? I don't think a single shred of it is. I did have that one video I did last month talking about AI niches that was pretty well received, got a lot of views, and that's pretty interesting, right? But what I'm really doing is using an AI tool that, to my knowledge, is really just like scraping the internet, kind of like the way Google does, indexing information, trying to interpret it, and spitting out an answer to questions, right? So I said, generate me a list of like the Americans' most, like 50 most favorite foods, right? And I get a list of 50 foods, and then I go and feed it into, you know, AutomatePOD, the Chrome extension, and it downloads a bunch of designs that say, you know, I love cake, I love pizza, I love whatever. You know what I mean? That to me is maybe kind of the extent of where AI is in terms of how it can be used with print on demand. From there, obviously, you can take those designs. There are different ways of getting them, you know, uploading, automating the upload process, I guess is what I'm really trying to say. Like, I always want to learn as many shortcuts as possible, because you don't get like an award for spending more time doing the same thing that you could spend less time doing. So I'm always aiming to do it in less time. Again, efficiency. And then, yeah, automate the upload process, right? No AI involved in that. But my buddies over at MyDesigns, I will say, like, they are killing it with everything they've done so far, which again is like allowing me to run like a really nice looking Etsy business, albeit it's a new one. I'm really aiming for just a huge fourth quarter, because like it's slow right now. Otherwise I'd be bragging to you guys about how great the sales are coming. But I'm doing like a sale every other day, maybe. I'm not spending too much on ads or anything like that, because I'm the type of person that is doing this mainly for profitability. And like I can pump up my ad spend right now, but it's kind of feels like we're in a lull as far as like general trends and whatnot. So I'm not trying to go overboard with like pumping up my Etsy numbers when it's not that big of a deal. I know I'm going to crush it in the fourth quarter if I just stick to the fundamentals, right? So I'm just doing that and being consistent. But I will say, yeah, I mean, to the point of like AI and the takeover, just remember that behind everybody leveraging AI tools, there's going to be a human. You know what I mean? And the reason I can guarantee that basically is because didn't the IRS just hire like a bunch of new IRS members to hunt down people that owe the government money? And, you know, the reason I'm saying that there's always a human behind the AI is because they need to have a tax ID. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could be wrong. I'm sure if you went, you know, down the rabbit hole dark enough, like there might be a way of like, oh, it's a corporation tax ID. You know what I mean? And there's no human behind that. I don't know, maybe. But for the most part, it's going to be people like me that did the process I just described to automate a list of niches, feed that into design automation, then feed that into upload automation. You can even automate ads to an extent, depending on the marketplace we're talking about. And, you know, AI can, AI, air quotes here, can kind of take over markets. And then, hey, I mean, I guess that's where you bring me in. I am a guru that teaches the exact process I just outlined because, hey, it works for me. Those of you guys that follow me on Instagram, you see my daily Instagram story updates. I'm not afraid to, you know, use tools that are going to save me time, even if it spends a little bit of money, as long as, again, it's just a math equation. I put this much in, I get this much out. Okay, it's working for me. You know what I mean? And another variable in that equation is time saved. So that's kind of how I see things, guys. I do appreciate your time and attention, so I'm going to stop rambling. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.